My God, I hate drugs.
Accusation on the extramarital affair of Solicitor General Jose Calida, sir.
That's a big fat lie. I need not, this woman admits that she has no evidence. He who alleges must prove it. And what she's saying is actually a concoction, a vicious, malicious concoction.
She said that your wife confronted your alleged mistress.
No, that is not true. That is not true.
1.8 million pesos, she says, in funds were transferred
that is not true.
to
I
this
don't know where
woman.
she got that amount. In other words, they are now fabricating charges against me. They want to destroy my family, and I will not forgive them for that. There will be a day of reckoning.
What are you going to do, sir? What can you do?
What can I do?
It's almost like a threat to her.
I am a lawyer, and therefore I know what to do. I'm just waiting that the charges will be given to me so I can answer them point by point.
I guess I'm assuming, sir, you will file charges against Jocelyn Acosta.
Against those who are maligning me, slandering me, libeling me. Yes, I will.
And you're just looking at getting more information, sir,
Yes.
studying it, and then
Right.
filing the appropriate charges. All right, sir, let me move on to another important issue, sir. Well, I want to end this vigilant issue, sir. Is there anything else you'd like to add? I'm sorry, sir. I wanted to add this one. I spoke to a couple of lawyers, I'll be honest with you, to understand this better, sir. And some were saying that your contract may have been above board. But there is this is one thing that was told to me. It's the code of conduct. It enshrines the policy of promoting high standards of ethics for officials, which includes, number 1, integrity, number 2, modest lives, and number 3, upholding public interest over private interest. Here's where I question that, sir. It's a question of upholding the public interest over your private interest. Could you possibly be guilty of that? Possibly you're upholding your family's interest over the public's interest?
You know, Pinky, when I accepted the job as Solicitor General, I know that it will be a hard job for me. That's why I invested my time, even put my life to risk for the public's interest. There are many threats against me also. I'm not just, broadcasting them. But I'm putting my life on the line for the government. Now, if they want to kill me, okay. I cannot stop them from... So when you say public interest, I put my life at stake for public interest. That's my answer.
Sir, to end this issue on vigilant, is there anything you'd like to add?
Well, as I said, the security agency that was founded in 2001, one of our missions and advocacy is really to provide livelihood for those who don't have. And we were able to help many guards. It gives us satisfaction when the guard who is, poor at the start, later on through the years would have the money to build a house, send their kids to school, and improve their lives. That to me is my reward, actually.
But it's also, sir, it sounds noble, but it's also a reward for your family because you need a business to survive as well. Your family needs to survive as well, hindi ho ba?
Yes, of course, but it's not that much because of the many expenses that we incur. Sometimes the clients do not pay on time, so we have to advance. And because of the amount, we have to borrow money in case the delay is already 2 or 3 months. Because we cannot afford our guards to suffer. We would rather suffer financially rather than the guards.
Sir, yung mayaman ho ba kayo dahil sa vigilant?
Remember, Pinky, vigilant is just one of our... I was a practicing lawyer. So it's not only our bread and butter, actually. I was a practicing lawyer since 1974. So we live a comfortable life.
All right. Sir, Secretary Guevara, the newly, he passed a commission on appointments yesterday, said that he will look into the two contracts of Vigilant with the DOJ. Let's listen to what Secretary Guevara said in yesterday's confirmation hearing.
Ang concern ng DOJ principally is whether yung mga procurement laws, rules, and regulations have been followed. Kasi public bidding yan eh. Everyone is entitled to bid. For now, the presumption is regular on its face. Regular, not necessarily valid kasi hindi naman namin tinitingnan yung question of validity. As to the contract itself, wala namang sinasabi na invalid. Ha? Bakit invalid? Meron bang batas na nilabag? Procurement law? Nobody has come up with such an allegation.
Your reaction to that, sir?
Yeah, I agree with what Secretary Guevara said. There is a procurement law that must be followed. And therefore, if he has all the right to check the contract. We have nothing to hide there.
And your family would be willing to open the books or give additional...
He said he will look
into the contracts, yeah.
Yes.
So,
there's no problem in that.
yeah, but the family, your family, it will be cooperative. I guess that's my question, sir.
Yes, yes.
Okay, and you're open to this. So let me move on to another subject, sir. The complaint, as I started this program, the complaint was filed by Jocelyn Acosta before the Office of the Ombudsman, sir. It's well, one is this conflict of interest, and others are the co-warranto, and also this warranto petition. The camp of former Chief Justice Maria Lourdes Sereno filed a 205-page MR.
Yes.
And just to kind of basically give a little bit of us, to condense that, it's really the due process was not served. She was not given due process. 8 of the justices who voted to oust her, 6 of them she wanted inhibited in the case, sir. How would the Solgen react to this?
Well, Pinky, the case is still live. In other words, sub judice. I'm not like Attorney Sereno, who would go from campus to other campuses to ventilate her arguments. I will not, at this time, the Supreme Court will consider her motion for reconsideration. We have argued all our arguments in our pleadings, and I'll leave it at that.
But that was a close call, sir, huh?
Well, because this is a novel case. This is the first time that the Solicitor General of the Philippines filed a quo warranto to oust a Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. So, naturally, there will be pros and cons. But, of course, majority rules. And they have to respect the Supreme Court for that.
Some are calling you the most powerful person in the country after the president because of this, well, win of the co-warranto petition. We were able to interview the former Chief Justice. Let's listen to a portion of what she said during her interview here on CNN Philippines.
He has been turned into the most powerful person now, next to the president. Even more powerful than the Senate combined. All 24 senators cannot do what Solgen KALIDA can do now. Lahat ng judges, vulnerable na. Pag sinabi mong vulnerable, ibig sabihin, hindi sila makakapagdesisyon nang hindi iniisip yung panganib na nakaabang sa kanilang karera. Magdidesisyon sila ng napakalakas, anong mangyayari? I-impeach rin ba sila? I'm sorry, iko-co-warranto rin pala sila? Oo,
so is that a threat against possible decisions that the justices will make?
Yes, definitely.
I guess the justices will be scared of you now, sir. The judges, lahat, sir.
Why should they be afraid of me? You know, Pinky, I'm not lusting for power. I'm just doing my job. That's the job of the Solicitor General. And that's the reason why the President appointed me. Because he knows that I will do my job.
But that still opens the door, sir, for you to file a quo warranto against anyone. Do you agree, sir?
Well, you know, I was inspired when the president said, why should he fire me? Because of that inspiration, maybe I'll consider some more quo warrantos to be filed.
Sir, there's one na gusto i-file sa inyo with Associate Justice Teresita de Castro. Siya ba yun?
No,
Mukhang hindi.
No. That's one of the reasons why this Acosta hates me, because she wrote me a letter asking me to file a quo warranto case against Justice Teresita de Castro.
Yeah.
But in my letter, I told her, do you have evidence that Justice de Castro did not comply with the JBC requirements? She did not offer any evidence. In fact, Justice de Castro filed the required number of SALNs, 10.
So no problem with her.
And besides that, she was not, Justice de Castro was not appointed as, as Chief Justice. So why should we oust her for a position that she did not have?
But she's still an Associate Justice, sir.
Yeah, but the complaint is
Chosen
not,
by the President.
when she was appointed as Associate Justice, there was no such requirement by the JBC.
Oh,
it was
is that what
only
you're
after Chief Justice Corona was ousted when the JBC started to impose SALN.
And the four, okay. All right, sir, I want to go back to what you said. You're considering filing quo warrantos. Was that a joke or are you serious, sir?
It was a joke, actually.
We better make sure, sir. So is there anything in the offing? Sir, maybe the 6? Are you looking into the 6 who said that the quo warranto is not valid?
No.
No.
Sometimes I'm too serious, so I will crack a joke every now and then.
So, okay, so that was a clear joke on your part. Sir, I also wanted to get your reaction on the resolution of the senators. There were about 14 of them saying really that it should have been the impeachment. It should not have been, you know, basically not the quo warranto.
The Supreme Court has spoken. Under our Constitution, the Supreme Court is the one vested with power and authority to resolve judicial and legal disputes. They should respect the Supreme Court.
But what about the judiciary respecting the right of the legislative branch of government to look into and to decide on impeachment cases, sir? What about that?
Now, the impeachment has not yet been transmitted to the Senate. So what impeachment are they, will they try?
All right. Just very quickly, sir, on the case of Janet Lim Napoles, we talked about this during your last guesting, sir. We had Attorney Stephen David saying that mukhang natanggal na po siya by Secretary Guevara in the Provisional Authority of the Witness Protection Program. Basically, sir, he was saying that she still wants to become state witness. The problem is no one is listening. Let's just listen very quickly to the statement of Attorney Stephen David.
With or without WPP, she's willing to testify, to say what she knows. Problema nga, the government's not listening. The DOJ doesn't want to listen, di ba?
Now?
Kasi kung hindi, ginamit dapat siya, di ba? Kasi nandiyan na siya inalis mo pa. Ano yun? Ayaw ka namin.
Sir, very quickly, I'm just going to throw questions. Tama ho ba yung ginawa ni Secretary Guevara na tinanggal siya sa Provisional Authority of the WPP? Benefits and Protection Program?
Well, that is the prerogative and discretion of the Secretary of Justice, because the Witness Protection Program is under the Department of Justice. However, if Janet Napoles has evidence to link other recipients of the DAP and PDAP, why don't we listen to her? Because as we all know, who were indicted were those, the enemies of the former president, like Jingo Estrada, Bong Revilla, and JPE. How about the other senators and congressmen?
So do you think that the DOJ should listen to her?
We should listen to anybody who has evidence to prove a crime.
So they should listen to her. They should consider her statement again because she had a narration, sir. A
Yes.
statement of narration.
Whether it will be Napoles or anybody else who has the goods against this, the politicians, we should listen to them.
But let's not go to anybody else, sir, because we're talking about Janet Lim Napoles, and Stephen David is saying she's involving about 100 lawmakers, 16 to 20 senators, sir. So I really want to let go of these other people. I want to talk about her, sir. Should government listen to Janet Lim Napoles?
I believe so. If she has the evidence, let her speak.
Could this just be used against the opposition lawmakers, sir?
No, let's leave politics here. Let's look at who are the culprits in this DAP and PDAP anomalies.
Do you know who?
I have some people in mind.
But does it complement the 100 lawmakers that Attorney David is saying, sir?
Well, I don't know where he got that number, but you know, we have sources also, and I know some of them are involved here.
In DAP, there are two, sir.
Yes.
DAP and pork barrel.
Correct.
What's your number?
I cannot divulge it right now.
But you're saying government should do something about
Yes, we
this.
should,
Yeah.
because no one should be allowed to go scot-free. You know, these are millions and millions of government money.
Sir, I know that this is going to be the, of course, mandate of the DOJ, but you are the, well, the government for the Republic. If you're saying that dapat talagang tingnan ito, should there be an appeal or an order from the President for the DOJ to buksan po muli itong alleged involvement of lawmakers in DAP and pork barrel funds, sir?
Now, we will have a new ombudsman by July. Maybe the new ombudsman can look into this.
Who do you think, or who would you think would be fit to be ombudsman?
Well, Pinky, I'm not a seer. I cannot look at the future. But definitely, one who has the trust and confidence of the president will be appointed there.
And you're not part of that. You're not part of the list.
I did not apply
you didn't
for
apply.
the ombudsman.
So what about the Supreme Court? Could you possibly be part of the Supreme Court, sir?
Who?
You?
No, I'm not cut out to be a judge, Pinky. I find the job boring.
So you're happy here as Solgen?
Yes.
Is it fulfilling for you, sir?
Yes, because actually I won cases. I haven't lost a case in the Supreme Court where I personally argued.
All right, thank you. Solicitor General Jose Calida, sir, maraming salamat po sa inyo. Thank you for this exclusive interview.
Thank you also for having me.
And thank you for joining us here on The Source. I'm Pinky Webb. You're watching CNN Philippines.
What does it mean to feel good, to eat right, to sleep better at night?
Be what makes other people happy. That's what makes me feel